Happy Monday and welcome to the Arrogant Witch channel. This is Witch Naima, and today's topic is going all in on your true dream. This channel is for smart, emerging, witchy men and women who just know that you're meant to do an extraordinary thing in this lifetime, and that you know it's through your highness in your being and your highness in your business that the you becoming the extraordinary and doing the extraordinary thing before you die is a priority in your life. And so we connect here on this channel so that you will then move forward to the pioneering 90-day Arrogant Witch community, which you can find out more about that later. And today's topic, I feel some vulnerability that's going to be coming forth here because no matter what level you're at, you're growing, period. And let me go ahead and set up my Instagram real quick. Don't we just love technology, darling? Oh, there we go. Okay. Going all in on your real dream, your true dream. So, I have held myself back a lot during my career. A lot of new people have come into my world, because of running ads and, YouTube, just marketing. And I guess you'll hear more backstory as time goes on. But I've been in the transformation, just quickly, I've been in the transformation industry for a decade. And I have always expected really big things for my life. I have always been excited about creating amazing things, living a big life, just like so expectant and idealistic of living a big life and being willing. Hold on one second, please. Thank you. Being willing, just expecting, and, for those of you who have expected a big life and been excited about a big life, and um, you just know, you just know that that's why you were born, live an extraordinary life. And and if you're like me, you moved through your life like that. It was just natural for you to move through your life like that. And you got knocked down, right? People said things to you, probably started at home, right? Mom, parents, and you slowed down. You started second guessing things that to you seemed normal, right? Um, and on and on and on, right? And then life gets boring, life gets miserable. There's like you see yourself around people living just mundane, boring lives, and you're like, how is this like this? How did I get here? It just, and it's just so unsettling. It's like people do this, like people agree to this, like people do this their whole lives. I was in, yes, family is important. Obviously, family is important. And those are some of the biggest traps the family we're born into oftentimes are the biggest traps for that get in the way and that try to reprogram us. Like we come out shiny and just bright. For those of you who, you have children, like my niece, who I've been spending a lot of time with, she's 9 months. And I look at her and then I remember myself and like children are bright, man. They're fast, they are forgiving, they're right, they express, they're honest, they're ready to go, they're resilient, and then you're born in whatever family you're in, you keep going in that, and then your whoever's raising you starts to tell you, we don't do that here. It's not like that. This is no, right? And then everything that it was in you, born, right? It was like, right, you start like energetically. You just uh, uh, and before you know it, you're sitting at the dinner table acting like a damn zombie. You out minding your business at the mall, doing some mundane thing, and you realize that somehow you agreed to a whole hum existence, right? Look, me too. I know what this looks like. I know what this feels like. And then now I'm speaking for myself. You, you, if you depending on how low you have gone, right? You hit a spot that's your version of the bottom, right? You hit your version of the bottom, whatever that looks like. For me, it was drinking myself to sleep. It was just really wanting to end my life. It was ugly. It was like the darkest I had ever. One of the. It was like this. My divorce was like the first darkest place as an adult that I had been in. Well, look, baby, if we start collecting stories, right? My teenage years, I remember having a very dark moment. But in my adult life, my divorce was like the first adult dark experience I had. Then when I was in the transformation industry and had just hit that wall, I hit that wall and my unconscious was warring with my conscious, but I didn't know it at the time. My unconscious was warring with my conscious. And so that was a really dark place. And you hit that low place. I hit that low place. And in the dark, like when you really submit to the dark, like if you're fighting in the dark, you just don't get nowhere, right? It's just you just circle, circle, circle. But when you submit to the dark the way I did, all this knowledge just drops into you. There's no reading of a book, there's no mentor. It's you and you. It's you and you and you. It's just all of you right there. And then so I found my way up out of that in the communication in the dark and came back out into the transformation industry and built up my company and tons of stories I could share there. But there's some real truth here that I have been confronting myself, and I'm doing this with you so you can see for yourself what will be required of you. Like, because this is just so real, and it's why so many people, never mind gender, ethnicity, race, why so many people don't move forward. And it's so important to me to really do the extraordinary thing in this lifetime. It's so important to me and to support you, those of you who know that you're meant to do something that's like so outside of your current operating identity. So built up my business, and I'm fast forwarding, I'm jumping over a lot just to get to a key point here. So I crossed the seven-figure mark in my transformation business in under 4 years. This is after struggle. This is after getting tons of coaching. This is after recommitting and recommitting. This is after tons of perseverance, consistency, consistency, consistency. Keep going, resting, keep going, working, 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 getting more coaching, going to retreats, breaking down, crying, going at it again, recommitting. Like, okay, across the seven-figure mark. So even if though I say this with ease, it took a lot of work and dedication. So I remember very vividly being in what a lot of people would call heaven on earth, okay? Materially, right? And emotionally too, until the decline, okay? But materially, right? Living in Paris in a gorgeous apartment, just money was just so easy. Like I learned like masterful at the online thing, masterful at living on brand is what we call it, where the truth of what you desire and who you are, you live it every day. And it's in your brand, it's in your marketing. At the time, my brand was called Opulent Living. That was the name of my brand, Opulent Living. And that's how I was living because I've always loved living opulently. It's who I actually am, it's what I love naturally. Like, turn off all these cameras. I like to be at the Ritz in Paris, darling, dressed well, laughing. Like, in my real life, that's how I live. Okay. And I love it. And it's real and it's natural for me. Okay. So to have a brand that express that, it's that's authentic living. So I was living in Paris at the time. Literally, me and my boyfriend, who I was dating at the time, we would go to the Ritz and drink and laugh and talk and walk the streets of Paris. I had my team of contractors who was helping my business flow. To work with me at a minimum was 20,000 up to 100,000. So I was making anywhere from 20 to shit $150,000 a month, depending on what was going on. And I had worked myself up to that. Like, this is great commitment, like worked myself up to that. I was being coached by some of the best in the industry. You know, I was in like multiple five figure masterminds and programs. Like, I worked for this. Okay. I was traveling all through Europe. Like, I would wake up and be like, I want to go to London, get a real flight real quick, go up to London, go do some shopping, multi-thousand-dollar shopping sprees without looking at the price tag. Like, and life was moving fast. It was just speed because when you really are living true, when you unburden yourself and do the shadow work and you really start to bring forth your conscious and your unconscious, and you start telling the truth about your desires, and you have difficult conversations and you make difficult decisions, and you commit to your decisions and you get behind them and you focus and you're consistent and you keep going, and make sure you're around people who support you, be around people who are beyond you. Like, you don't hire a coach who's just a few steps ahead of you. You hire a coach that's far beyond you, right? You start making decisions now based on where you desire to be. You don't make decisions based on where you are. I mean, that there's all sorts of nuances that go into producing, bringing the future into now, producing extraordinary results. Okay. There's so much that goes into it. I know how this works. And so at this peak, what people think you get to the top and it's like, I made it. No, there's always a next level. Always. Forever. There's a next level. And I remember very specifically feeling a tinge of guilt around my success, because the truth was, I was oftentimes the only Black woman or one of a few amongst just white men and women everywhere, crushing it. Like, we all winning. Everybody in these circles is winning, because that's how it works when you commit and you play with players and you play to win. All that barrels in the back gate crab, that's for people down there. Them people down there live like that and do like that. When you start really ascending and really start making choices that's up, you can't even be up if you're doing low stuff. It doesn't work energetically. It doesn't work. So that's part of the reason why it's so expensive to play with people who are playing higher, because you're actually paying to access a frequency that is harder for you to maintain alone down here with all the people down here. Okay, that's a whole other conversation. So I remember being like, where are all the Black people? Like, and this wasn't the first time I asked myself this question. I'm going somewhere with this. Stay close. I'm going somewhere with this. We got to open this up for those of us who are Black. Okay, because see, the white people got models all over the place. The white coaches you see, the white healers you see, the white transformational life coaches you see, the white oracles you see, the white witches you see, the white leaders you see, the white speakers. They got models all over the place. doing stuff. I can name Kelly Roach, Shanda Sumter, Suzanne Evans, Fabian Fredrickson, Gina DeVete. Those are all 7-figure, 8-figure white coaches right now. The- And the men are a bounty of men. Ben Russell Brunson, Brendan Burchard, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. The list goes on and on and on countless of the white female and white male spiritual teachers, Marion Williamson, spiritual teachers, healers, leaders, mentors, all of them. Okay. Writing books, leading retreats, offering 5-figure, multiple 5-figure, 6-figure coaching programs, selling them out. This is normal for them. It's not so normal for us. And here we go. Like, how me and you, for those of us who are truly going to live the lives we know we are meant to live and do the real big dream, the one that feels like, oh, that's far away. My big dream, I remember talking to Shanda Sumter, who's an 8-figure going on to a 9-figure coach, talking to her like 3 fucking years ago, being like, yeah, because this dream feels like it's down there, down there. And Shanda was like, no, that's now. See, because the power, the passion, the excitement, the endurance, the commitment, all the frequencies that allow you to bring miracles down and bring the future into now, you take the big thing that seems to be outside of your identity. I'm going off a little bit, but I'm coming back. Seems to be outside. You bring that into now. Darling, there is strategy. This is real practical shit. Okay. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, so where are the black people? Knowing how I worked, because this work is not like it's exclusive, meaning like you got to pay to be inside these programs. But the work that you do before you make the money to get there, anybody can do. The Science of Getting Rich is a free PDF you can get off the internet right now. But what's going to make somebody really download that and read that like they life depended on it? What's going to make somebody really take that and integrate the teachings in that, the insights in that, and decide that that's going to be their new daily habit? What's the thinking and the desire of the person who's going to do that? So, all this work that I had done to get to my gorgeous apartment in Paris, living like my life is like something out of the movies, I knew anybody could do that. If anybody can do that, who decides that's for them, they're going to do the work, etc. So it's like, okay, so where are the black people? Where are the black people? There was that going on, and then the next level of my ascent, because you're always going to grow. Once you get to 6 figures, which by the way is only $8,300 a month. Once you get to for my family, etc., then you're gonna want to be able to donate big checks, 5-figure checks to things you care about. You're going to want to build up things because your confidence will have grown. You're going to want to see new results in your life. You're going to see things for your children. You might decide we about to live on the road. I know so many families who live on the road. They make money online. They're in Portugal for 3 months with the kids. They homeschool the kids. Their kids are in different online programs. And so their children are getting not virtual, but global lifestyles as children, passports, global lifestyle as children because of the lifestyle that their parents are living and they're bringing the kids along. So I'm questioning again because that's what happens. When you're ready to start getting to go to the next level, you start reassessing what you've done, where you came from, how you got here. You look around at what you've created, who's in your environment, and you start looking at the next several steps up. And it wasn't looking like there were going to be many black people around me. Look, I'm just being honest, right? And it started to feel lonely, even though I had a lot of people around. I got mentors, 8-figure mentors on speed dial who I could just call or text and be like, can we talk? I got, people know me. I got respect. I got networks. I got people who, all the things that you need, people who believe in me, people who I believe in. We share notes. When one of us wants to talk about something tender or vulnerable, we get on the phone. We share resources. We find out about, oh, this new tool that helps our system work better with marketing or email communication. We're exchanging notes. And we know things up here that those people don't know down there because we've invested to be in this. And we let go of heavy things that keep them crab in a bucket people, keep living that bucket life down there. Things like believing in each other. Gosh, she did $50,000 this month and I only did 25,000. Not being like that bitch, but being like, girl, how did you do it? And she gladly sharing with me how she did it. And then the next month I do $100,000. And in that, I got an insight that I share with her. And we on the phone. And then she's like, girl, I'm gonna be in Paris next month. You gonna be around? Yes, girl, let's get together, dinner. We find out about another coach who's doing something amazing in Italy or doing something amazing in Miami, and we like, you go, yes, let's go, let's support her. Oh, this looks amazing. Oh, she, and we go. You find out about something that hurt, something you've overcome, some insight, something you learned from another coach who you talked to because you ran into one of his peers at a restaurant somewhere, because there's a lifestyle and there's a frequency that you live that you guys already know about how this law of attraction shit works. When you're working at a certain level, you meet other people who are working at that level. So y'all go to the same events, you know the same people, you implementing some of the same marketing strategies. Like that's how this shit goes. Okay. And down here, and almost fucking the petty dumb shit that all the people who got all the negative shit to say in the comments, like we ain't even talking about crabs in the bucket up here. They talk about that shit down there. Crabs in the bucket, haters. What? Really? Really? You mean to tell me you ain't confident enough and convicted of what you're doing enough that you worried about some goddamn haters? Yo, see, and that's also a reflection of where your energy, should be on who you here to serve. The people who are excited when you send an email. The people who you open the email and they pause what they doing to open up the email you sent. You go live and they the first ones on your live. That's where your energy should be. But the reason why you can't make the money and your energy is being sucked out by vultures is because you constantly giving it to them down here in your thoughts. That's a whole other conversation, okay? So I'm around all the Megans and the Kellys and the Billies and the who, by the way, are good people. Even if some of them are unconsciously racist. Y'all know how that works. We're not going to listen, okay? They're good people. These people help me when I need help. When I call, they answer. When I need a resource, they give it to me. Okay? I tell you, I'm not going to say her name, but a woman who's racist in the industry, who during the George Floyd, when all them white coaches was getting called out, she was one of the white coaches that got called out a lot. I mean, black coaches was doing videos on her, calling out her racism. I made a comment on one of her posts to highlight, listen, I know how you roll. You see, you because she put a post of asking people, okay? And still, even with her unconscious racism, it was her event that I went to at the beginning of 2013, baby. And you guys saw this in the email. For those of you who are on my email list, you saw the story I sent out, the 3-part story. It was her event where I broke a joy limit I didn't even know I had. Let me say that again. It was at her event where I broke a joy limit that I didn't even know I had. What do I mean? It is taboo in our world, and it can be frowned upon for you to be highly joyful often. If you low and you mad and you get so much praise a lot of times for that, right? People will commiserate and join you. Oh, sis, girl, I know, sis, it's hard out here, sis. Oh, I'm sick of the white people, and oh God, you get a bunch of comments and engagement when you talk about mad at this, and I'm black man this, and I'm angry, and Oh God. But you start talking about how you just delighted that it's Monday and you made this much money and your big dream and how you feeling good. You've been feeling good all week and you feel good in your body and your plans to go have this delicious meal and you had great sex and it feels good to be you and life is good and you be like that. Yeah, okay. You're gonna have to work to bring in the audience for that message, right? Ask me how I know. And so there was a part of me that wasn't letting a lot of joy into my life. And I know this is long-winded, but it always comes together. All right. There's some, I like nuances and details of a story. I like nuances and details. How did it feel? How did it smell? How did you get there? Give me the details. That's what I like. So that's what I'm going to share. Okay. There was a way that I wasn't letting joy in. And see, you cannot ascend in your career and your relationships and you're having good stuff, just letting good stuff come into your reality when you block it. And there was a way that I was blocking abundance of joy coming into my space. So this unconsciously racist white woman put together an event. And when I tell you all the stimuli, uh, fresh, beautiful flowers all over the place. Um, uh, Colors, vibrant colors all over the place. She brought in a DJ who was playing upbeat, high music. Okay, we was in there dancing, just do right. The language that was being used. It was a 3-day business conference. The language. Just imagine yourself in the space, or putting your own on, putting on your own high vibration event, high vibration retreat. She had us hugging each other in between sessions because it was a 3-day hugging each other. We're at a beautiful hotel. The language that she's speaking and she has us speaking is of a high nature. Okay. The fashion, she's a fashionable woman. Like all these different pieces to stimulate an upness, an aliveness, a brightness, a lifeness, a breathness. And when I tell you the level of opening of joy that opened up in me that I didn't realize. That's a whole other conversation when I was opening up. And so I share that with you. So to give an example, what's one of the many things that's required for you to be open to all that will be required for you to bring forth your grandest dream, recommit to it time and time again, looking for the joy. I talked about this last week about laughter and how blanketed and infused with joy, blanketed and infused with joy, blanketed and infused with joy, your life will be required. This woman's event, the joy limit, how my joy it expanded. So included when I'm in Paris, as I was telling you about, right? In Paris, living like a movie. And I created that. And all of us can create that. Do the work, commit over and over and over again. And so as I was looking up at, okay, what's next? Consciously, I'm ready, consciously. I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready. But unconsciously, feeling like if I go any higher, who's coming? Who's not white? Who's coming that's not white? Like feeling like I was leaving Black people. Makes me think about Jay-Z has talked about the higher that he's gone in his career, the less color there has been. And what a Black person does in their head, what's required of me in my head, what's required of you in your head. This is the work that I'm doing, and I'm being vulnerable so you can see, for those of you who will commit over and over and over again to your dream, your real one, the one that feels, because I have a dream, oh my God, and it's been with me since I was 21. And I'm telling you, this, listen, I gotta go, period. I gotta go. So I think about what's required in my head, What's required, what integration is required in my heart, my unconscious, and my conscious to be able to move consistently and persistently to my dream. Because in my experience, there is less color the higher you go. And here's the thing, why? If I can be sleeping on my mother's couch with $7 to my name, be a black female, drinking myself to sleep, looking for a way to kill myself, not wanting to be here anymore, and then make the decisions time and time again, very difficult decisions that I'm going to invest and figure out the money thing. I'm going to borrow this money and make this money so I can invest this. I'm going to let go of thoughts that have been very comfortable for me. It's very comfortable to be broke in a way. Like you don't have to have the responsibility of managing money. Leadership is difficult. Leadership, get on camera consistently with vision, conviction every single month, year one, every single month, year two, every single month, year three, every single month. But it can be done, and a person can commit to that over and over and over again. So, just like I have decided over and over and over again for the last decade, going on 11 years, because I started in 2011 and here we are in 2022. The tribal instincts that we have, that's a big one right there. I'm being vulnerable with you because it's necessary for me. So I'm being selfish first. It's necessary for me to be vulnerable. This is a form of alchemy, what I'm doing right here. You get a chance to witness, right? And all the other times you've watched me on camera, there's nothing new about what I'm doing. Okay. Interfacing with the tribal elements of being Black, right? The belonging, right? Even if I've never met you before and all that, there's the tribal element of this is where I belong. These people look like me. This is where I belong. This is it. And so now I'm looking for Black people who know like I know, who hunger like I know, male and female, witchy, powerful, who are hungry like me, who believe like I believe, who know like I know, who have tapped into or are ready to tap into their real true dream. Because listen, I often think about my last year on earth. Often. I think about what my last year on earth will be like. I think about what my last month will be like. And the fact that that's going to happen. Every single person who has died had their last year on earth. They had their last month on earth. What is important for me to create before that time? What do I want to make sure I don't regret? Will my tribal stuff matter my last year on earth? Oh, because I was surrounded by white people and Black people. Oh God, I've just felt guilty about my success. And, because Black people didn't come, I couldn't move anymore. And I told myself some other story though, because I needed to find a way to justify why I didn't create what had been in me for decades, why I didn't bring it forth, why I wouldn't commit to it, why I wouldn't go all in. When you start playing in universal law for real, when you start playing in universal law for real, I can't tell you how often I have held myself back. I could easily have made over $10 million in my business, easily, had I not held myself back so many times. Never mind the being scared to come out as a witch. That's one element, yeah. But even before that, and even since that, there have been so many instances where it's like, damn, the truth that I'm not surrounded by Black people who are really living in universal law, who are really living in that lightness. When you start dealing in universal law, it's light, it's fast, it's amazing. It's like it's beyond amazing. It's everything. And when I think about the space that I was in 2017, and I just remember so much putting the brakes, stop, wait, wait, stop, wait, stop, wait, stop, wait, wait, wait. Shit was moving so fast, and it started to feel like too much. And the only reason why I was feeling like too much is because I was stopping. See, because when you become one with, see, this is how universal law work. Oh my God. I really want Black people who are powerful and witchy out of this fucking matrix, man. Out of this fucking matrix, man. You think the people who we love to claim, Kemet and Egypt, you think they was worried about some color shit, like all the race shit that the man, the enemy, and the man, and the girl? My God, we can't. That's over. No, no. Like, isn't it important to you to see, like, what is your big dream? What is the big dream? What is it? Mine is a world class chateau where people come to know God. They come to know beauty. They bask in it. They don't come as a visitor who's watching as like an outsider, right? That's the experience that most chateaus you go to. Maybe you rent it, right? People can do that. This is a vision I've had since I was 21. And who I am now is so required to evolve and to allow so much more, to really become so much more lighter, so much more loving, so much more permissible, so much more receptive, so much more elevated, so much more in the yes, so much more in clarity of thought, so much more in joy, so much more in oneness with all that is. It requires and the being of that truly. I want that for all of us. Do you know how we can play when we live like that? When we be like that? Do you know how we can play? Do you know how we can love? Do you know how we can sit amongst each other and create and think and spark and become a true mastermind? Beauty is normal, where speed is normal, where solving problems rapidly is normal, where coming up with astounding, awesome things is normal, where loving and healing is normal and bountiful. That is it. That is it. That's who I wish to be around, Black or not. No matter your ethnicity, where you're from, who you. That that's what's allowed now. What's allowed now, period, 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 period. That is what is allowed now. That is what is allowed now. That is what is allowed now. There is a frequency, a for real frequency that most people are, y'all know if y'all doing this spiritual stuff, people who vibrate at a certain level find each other. They hang out together. They wish to be around each other. If I see you and I think that you are like family energetically, don't I want to be around you? When you find people online who you feel like are some kind of family, share a likeness, don't you want to be around them? You want to get close. You want to laugh together. You want to share a meal. You want to meet offline. right? And for us to become this mastermind, you and I, there's an unburdening that's required, and it's mental. It's a mental unburdening. It's a choosing to let go of familiar lower thoughts. They're habitual. When you start monitoring your thoughts, they're habitual. They're feelings that are low, like shame. These are the low feelings: shame, embarrassment, guilt, fear, low. Mhm. So some of the thoughts and feelings and your feeling, right, that you'll have that'll keep you low and unable to come be with people who are up here, who are lighter, who have let those things go. Well, I can't do that right now because I got to wait till the kids go to college. Oh, if I do that, my husband is not going to approve. I know my husband is not. If I do that, all of my childhood trauma is gonna, people are gonna find out. If I do this, I'm gonna fail anyway, so why even bother? I've already tried 17,000 times before and it's never worked before. That's not for somebody like me. I was raised poor, and my mom said wealthy people are the devil. Oh, this, I can't do that. No, I'm overweight, I'm unattractive, and nobody's gonna listen to me. I'm stupid, I didn't go to college. Oh, you see, like that, right? That's comfortable. Even if it hurts, it's comfortable. It's familiar. It's like, that's my go-to. I can't, I'm afraid because of my childhood trauma, and people are gonna think I'm stupid and I don't want to fail in front of people. And people are gonna think I'm a charlatan and I can't. That's safe. It's comfortable. It's familiar. But what would happen if you just said, no, no, I'm done with that thought. I'm done with that thought. The thought that I choose now, because I'm choosing to work in universal law and I'm choosing to tap into the desires of my heart. And I know my actual dream, when I'm honest and I'm free of scarcity thinking, my actual desire is this. And in order to bring this forth, this is who I'm required to be. And when I'm this, that thought doesn't work. It's disallowed. It keeps me down, down, down. And because I wish to be lighter, because I wish to be in relationship with all that is up here, relationship with all that is up here, the people, the money, the places, the language, the thoughts, the energy, the state of being. There's so much up here, so much. But you cannot be at that because you can only manifest at the level that you actually are being at. This is why your life is evidence of what you really think. Your life is evidence of what you really think. So when I was in Paris, nobody accidentally ends up, as an American where I was once, but you don't accidentally end up in Paris in a gorgeous apartment, dressing the way I was dressing, multi-thousand-dollar shopping sprees on the Champs-Elysees, and dating this guy, and the Ritz is your lifestyle, and gallivanting all over Europe with the team, and the just the gorgeousness and the lightness and the opulent. That's because that's what was actually going on in here. So my life reflected what was actually going on in here. When we look around at your current life, does it reflect the desires of your heart? Does it reflect the desires of your heart? What is the desire of your heart? If things stayed exactly as they are where you are now, would you be totally okay? Are you living the life of your dream right now? What is your dream? So many people don't even know. What's the dream? Well, I want to travel more to where? Well, I got to think about that. Think about it. My desire is to have my organic products in Africa and in the United States and in Canada, right? On these different continents. Okay. So what does that take? Are you doing that? Are you living that? And if not, why not? What's the emotion you don't want to feel? What's the thought to you scared of it? I remember once upon a time. Remember last week I talked about not wanting to feel the being dropped and being disappointed by people. So I wouldn't hire payroll employees. And I remember when I was matter of fact, I was still wearing my natural hair and I had twisties and I had my hair was dyed red, working in the transformation space coaching. And I was at a retreat with my coach in Key West, Florida. This was mm, maybe end of 2015, early 2016, something like this. And she had us bring forth the fear. What's the fear? She had us bring forth. It was vulnerable. It was like 3 day retreat at a beautiful hotel. I think one of the Biltmore brands. And my thing was fear of people leaving, people leaving. And so I remember my mantra was people will leave and that's okay. People will leave and that's okay. Why did I have to deal with that? How was that stopping me from making my next level decision? Because I was scared that I would be abandoned. Who would be there? Clients would come, team would come, people would come, and they would leave. This be unconscious stuff that was mine. I'm sharing this with you so you can look at yours. What is the unconscious thing that gets in the way of you taking the next step and the next step and the next step? Because you guys, I'm going. I'm going. I'm going. You're going to see. You're going to see. I know how this works. And I'm going to experience more of how it works as I ascend. This is available to all of us. 10 years for overnight success, 20 years for overnight success. It is true. It is true. My first several years in the transformation space, I struggled. Yeah, I made money, but I struggled. It is a recommitment. You got to tap into something more than, I just want a bigger life. I just want more for my life. You got to tap in real deep. You got to be vulnerable. You got to tell the truth. You got to be around people who believe in you. You're not going to do this at your desk, at home, alone, watching YouTube videos and taking this free training over there, free train. It'll get you so far because I did that. That's what everybody does. If you don't have the money, you start somewhere. Like I said, the science of getting rich, you can Google that for free. Science of Getting Rich, free PDF online right now. Think and Grow Rich is like what, $8 on Amazon? You start where you start, and then you recommit and you decide to go higher. And deciding to go higher requires money. Don't listen. I have invested over $500,000 over the last decade, investing in coaching programs, retreats, business expenses, team members, more coaching programs. I'm in a coaching program right now it's an $18,000 program and I've already paid. I know I have one more payment of $3,000 that's due. So I've already invested $14,000 in a program that I'm currently in right now with a Black woman. The first Black woman I've invested with at this level, because this is the first time I've actually found a Black woman who I felt like could help me. I've already created great success, not hardly as much as I know I could have, and that's okay because we're going. But I'm still investing in coaching. It never ends. Never. I promise you, the people who are really winning, and when I say winning, I don't mean just financially, I mean they have people around them. I disconnected myself from all the networks that I was a part of. I can't even tell you guys how much I have stunted my own growth because the guilt of ascending and not seeing more Black faces, the wanting more Black faces around and being like, what's going on? Like, literally, I've asked other Black women, where are we? Behind closed doors, have these conversations. What's going on? Where are we? We have been unwilling to do the work. Now, portals have opened. 2020 was a huge portal opening. And that's why you see so many Black women, like, right? And what I see, I've been around a while. So to a lot of people, it seems new and like fresh and right. But you just now see spiritual Black women talking about shadow and all that. That's old. So there's a way that we're behind. A lot of the work I see Black women just coming into. So it's like part of me has been frustrated. Like over the last several years, has been very frustrated because I felt myself holding myself back. Like, come on, you guys, come on, look, we can do it. You got it. Let's come on, come on, come on, come on. And feeling like I'm dragging people. No, we're done. I'm not dragging nobody. This is available for all of us. We are speed. Like, I'm not telling you this to inspire you. Be inspired, good, yeah. This is a fact. This is available for all of us. It is work. Me being on here like this, being vulnerable, is work. The email that went out this morning to those of you who received it, that's work. Investing in this coaching program, showing up to the coaching, strategizing. I've been doing a weekly webinar. You know what I do after I get off that webinar? I debrief with my coach. This worked. This didn't work. I don't like this. Tweak this. Blah, blah, blah. That's work. Okay? It's work. Organizing my day. Okay, I got to get up at this time. I'm going to Pilates at this time. I got to make sure I drink my water. Okay, who needs to be on the team? Okay, what phone calls need to happen? That's work level. Then health, relationships, making sure I'm doing joyful things. I went to a pasta making class on Saturday. I went to Pilates yesterday. Work, work, work. Why would somebody even work like this? Because you've tapped into the dream. You've tapped into the dream. You were convicted by your dream. You convicted because you've looked at your last year on earth is coming, guaranteed. It's coming, honey. And then for those of us who are over 40, over 45, you feel yourself aging. Hmm? You feel yourself aging. You feel how, oh my, listen, you really start to feel how time is moving. See, when you're 25 and you're buoyant and you know what I mean, you wrapped up in youth, it's easy to not think about 20 years from 23 years old. But when you're 40 and 45 and 50, and you start looking back and you start noticing how your body is changing, hmm? What am I going to do with my limited time left? See, when you tap into that and you start having some real honest questions, conversations with yourself, asking some real honest questions. What am I doing? Where am I going? What's the real dream? And you get honest, that really helps you clarify where to put your time and attention throughout your days. Who is going to be in your life? Who's not? Where do you invest your attention? Where do you invest your money? Where do you give your whole self to? I want to work with those of you who are ready to go all in. Listen, this is a marvelous world. You can do it. You can have it. This is marvelous. You got to be around the people who are really doing it, not who on YouTube talking about it. Oh, girl, stop. No. The people who off camera, they are strategizing their business and their lives to be in Jamaica one quarter of the listen, whatever theirs is, I'm just making this up as one. creating their systems to have the revenue, the recurring revenue, the team, the everything in place, whether they got kids or not, to be in Jamaica half the year or quarter, to live over here. They're light, they're generous. There's a reciprocity, there's a giving and a receiving. They're lifting you up, you're lifting them up. They're seeing into your blind spots and saying, "Hey, Naima, I talked to you 3 months ago and you said this ain't lining up with that," right? And you're like, "Yes, thank you," right? Reflection, having a variety of people in your life who genuinely care about you because y'all both have tapped into desire. You're being honest. You've been vulnerable with each other. You've exchanged. You're holding each other accountable. And you are committed to enduring over the long term. That's the value of being in long term coaching programs. People get a chance to see you in month one, they see you in month six, they see you in month 10. And you guys grow together. This is how you start to build up a network of people who are like you, who help you to endure through the hard stuff. This is why trying to penny pinch and build your business, a six-figure business, through a bunch of YouTube videos and free this and trying to get a little blip of inspiration here and there and there. You can start like that, but you're not going to sustain and endure and be long term like that. So I say all this to say that you can do it. If you are, if you are Black, because it's very much in my heart. Make no mistake, I'm keeping going, and I'm gonna work with those of you who are serious. I'm not fooling with no. For those of you who know, you know you're meant to do extraordinary things. You're clear about the desire of your heart. You're clear. You're honest that you're afraid. You're honest. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of this. I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of that. And you're honest that you're going to transform that. Learn how to tap into the fear, get into the logic of it, learning how your emotions work, and gathering control over that fear. Like the video, please. Thank you. If you're on YouTube, please like the video. And that you're going to become one of the first, one of the few. So particularly for those of you who are witchy, okay? Particularly for those of you who are witchy and you got big, big dreams. You got big, big dreams. You got big, big dreams. I'm so excited. I want to cry. I'm so excited for what's to come. You can do whatever you decide to do. You can work. I'm not even saying work yourself into the ground. The greatest work you will do is on your mind. The greatest work you will do is on your mind. It is a radical workout mentally. It is a radical workout mentally. And to be honest emotionally. Leadership, true leadership requires vulnerability, heart, so much courage, so much courage. And I can tell you, as a woman who has created so much, who has stopped myself so many times along the path, have watched myself stop myself, have watched myself create, oh my God, miracles. Oh my God, when I tell you, you learn how to play in universal law. You learn how to see beyond all the human limitations. It is astounding. It is absolutely astounding what you can create when you choose time and time and time and time again, because it's a rededication forever. There's no mountaintop that you come to and that's it. Talk to any relatively wealthy person you may know. Okay. It's a recommitment time and time and time again. And what allows you to recommit is tapping into your heart again, tapping into that desire again. Once you come out into the world and you get beat up, because you still are in a human body out here dealing with humans, with their imperfections, your own imperfections. You get knocked around and you recommit. You get knocked around and you recommit. You stay in universal law. You stay refining, you stay refining, you stay refining. And there's a focus. You're going somewhere. You have a vision. You tell the truth. You're emotionally vulnerable. You get around the right people. You use the right language. You intentionally run the right thoughts through your mind intentionally over and over and over again. When you feel your old ones, your negative ones, your heavy ones, that crab barrel in a bucket shit down there. You feel it creeping up. No, this is what I choose. No, this is what I choose. No, this is what I choose. Focus, clear goals, numbers based, clear. Not this, I would like a better life. I want more for myself. Oh, yeah. No, clear. My desire is $7,000 a month, $15,000 a month because I want to live in Jamaica, because I want live here, because I want to be able to give this to my mom, because I want my kids to be able to travel and live a global life. My children that are 3, my small children, my teenagers. I want my teen to be able to study in Europe, to be able to study in Spain, to be able to study in Jamaica. I want my children to be able to have this. And this is going to cost this amount of money because I've done the research, because I'm clear, a clear mind, because I have a vision. I have a clear vision of where I'm going. And I speak this language and I choose this. Every time the weak thought comes, no, I rebuke that. I choose this. Every time, no, I choose this. I choose this. Being around people who are doing the same thing, falling, getting back up, falling, getting back, keep going, keep going, keep going. Rest, rest, rest. Take care of your body, drink the water, get out in the air, continue, continue, continue. What's the vision? Recommitting, recommitting, watching what you take in throughout your day. This video is negative and weak. And no, this is the video that I choose. Okay, and if I choose to watch this petty shit 5-10 minutes and I let that go, monitoring my thoughts throughout the day. Oh, why am I really doing this? Emotionally honest, why am I really doing this? Where am I investing? Am I bringing the future into? Am I making decisions today based on where I'm going, or am I making decisions today based on where I am today? I cannot bring the future into now if I'm making decisions today based on where I am today. I must make decisions today based on where I'm going, not where I am. You see the nuance here, the dedication. Like, why was this is a workout, mental workout, emotional workout? So why would somebody commit to this kind of workout? Because they have committed to the dream. They're clear about the dream. They're around people who are nourishing their dream, who are doing the work. We're not just sitting around talking about, we are about it. We invest our money. Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's like to be at a retreat in Italy with other people who have invested to be at a retreat in Italy? Do you know what that's like? That means every other person who's in the room with you in Italy invested the money. They had enough clarity of thought. They've already demonstrated to you a level of leadership by their investment. They made the decision to be there. They invested the money. They got on a flight. They booked an Airbnb, a hotel, whatever else they booked to get there. They rearranged their life, their day, their child care, their whatever they did to get there. And now you guys are all in a room together. Do you know what happens when you're in a room with people, whether you travel to Italy or Miami? Do you know what happens when you're in a room of people who have made advancing leadership decisions and who said, I decided I not only I want more, I'm going to have more, but I'm going to invest in myself and I want to be around people who are doing the same. Do you know what happens in your life? You are changed at the deeper levels that are required for you to produce miraculous results. In 20, yeah, this is long because I'm in the mood. A coach who I love and respect had an event in Italy, Florence, Italy in 2015, 2016, something like that. I was in my natural hair still at the time. It was red. And um, I was the only, it was like, I remember it was beautiful. It was at a beautiful hotel. It was like maybe, I don't know, 150 people there or something like that. I think there was one other Black woman who was there. One other Black woman. And let me tell you what it's like. I really want you to see advancement for yourself. And what happens when you invest for real, not just talking, but your money, your energy, your effort, because it's money, energy, and effort to get on a plane and invest and all that. Okay. Lunchtime. Let's just talk about lunchtime. See, because there's the event, but there's the shit that happens at lunch. When you guys get a chance to look in each other's eyes and do the relaxation that happens when people are sharing a meal. There's a communing, right? There's a kind of relaxation, and you're around all these women who have come to a retreat that's talking about living an extraordinary life with a multiple seven-figure coach who's big thinking. Imagine this for yourself. You're at a gorgeous hotel in Italy. Imagine, right? You were scared to go. It was a stretch for you to go, and that's the best when it's a stretch, right? It's like when you go to the gym and you stretch. The more it hurts when you work out, the better you feel afterwards, right? Because you feel like you worked, right? So when you stretch to go somewhere, you stretch to make that investment. You stretch to rearrange your schedule. You stretched in preparing yourself and planning yourself. And then you get there and you're around all these women who sharing with you how they also stretched to get there. They start sharing with you their heart, right? You're not commiserating on Instagram with a bunch of people who talking, but they ain't moving. They talking and talking, but they ain't moving, right? Now you somewhere where people have put their money where their mouth is. Okay. And she telling you about, you know, how insecure she was just 6 months ago. And how she went through a divorce with her husband who was a narcissist or who disrespected her, didn't appreciate her. She talking to you about how she's gained 50 pounds in the last year because she was depressed, right? And how she scraped herself. This shit is real. You can decide. You can decide. A decision is work. A decision is work. A decision is work. That is work. That is underestimated work. Because for those of you who have made a decision, you know what it's like to be on the brink of a decision and to sit behind indecision and procrastination and knowing it's something for you to do and you don't do it. And what one of my peers would call purgatory, when you know you need to make a decision and it's purgatory when you're indecisive. And when you do make the decision, oh, how shit opens up for you. When you do make the decision, how shit opens up for you. And she climbed herself up out of hell. And she said, I was scared to come to this retreat. I wasn't, you know, I had to go make this money. I had to borrow this from my sister or my mother or my friend. I got a credit card, but I knew I needed to be here because I knew that if I didn't make a difference, that gosh, I was gonna kill myself. Or God damn it, I knew if I didn't get the fuck up out of that bed, that I was just gonna. I was not. No, this is disallowed. That is a decision. You are with a different breed of woman or man. You are with a different breed. And these people become your friends. They become your mastermind. They become your network. So that when you get back on the plane and you go home and you go back, you return to that frequency where you was living, which oftentimes you start finding you want to move. It's time to move. It's time to move houses, cities, all that. But when you go back there, you have a friend, a peer, a collaboration partner who you know who's for real because they've invested. They showed you. You met them at this retreat, and you guys hold each other accountable for living a bigger life, for producing $10,000 months consistently, for contacting the different uh, vendors that you need to create your products and to have your products on all the continents in the world and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have what it takes. You just got to drop all of the heavy thoughts, the recurring heavy thoughts. You got to tap into what is your real dream. What is so important for you to have, do, or be before you die? What is absolutely essential for you to have, do, or be before you die? What is worth your life? What is worth your life? What is worth the struggle? What is worth investing in? What is worth turning on your alarm clock? What is worth giving your whole self to? That's where you come alive. That's where your convictions come, your passion comes, that helps you slice through difficult decisions, that helps you let people the fuck go when you get clear about what is worth your life. I'll leave you with that today.